Lord told me to go and buy a clay jar. He also told me to take some of the elders of the people and some of the older priests and to go through Potsherd Gate out to Hinnom Valley. There I was to proclaim the message that he would give me. The Lord told me to say this: Kings of Judah and people of Jerusalem, listen to what I, the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, have to say. I am going to bring such a disaster on this place that everyone who hears about it will be stunned. I am going to do this because the people have abandoned me and defiled this place by offering sacrifices here to other gods, gods that neither they nor their ancestors nor the kings of Judah have known anything about. They have filled this place with the blood of innocent people, and they have built altars for Baal in order to burn their children in the fire as sacrifices. I never commanded them to do this. It never even entered my mind. So then the time will come when this place will no longer be called Topheth or Hinnom Valley. Instead, it will be known as Slaughter Valley. In this place, I will frustrate all the plans of the people of Judah and Jerusalem. I will let their enemies triumph over them and kill them in battle. I will give them corpses to the birds. I will give their corpses to the birds and the wild animals as food. I will bring such terrible destruction on this city that everyone who passes by will be shocked and amazed. The enemy will surround the city and try to kill its people. The siege will be so terrible that the people inside the city will eat one another, and even their own children. Then the Lord told me to break the jar in front of those who had gone with me, and to tell them that the Lord Almighty had said, I will break this people and this city, and it will be like this broken clay jar that cannot be put together again. People will bury their dead, even in Topheth, because there will be nowhere else to bury them. I promise that I will make this city and its inhabitants like Topheth, the houses of Jerusalem, the houses of the kings of Judah, and indeed all the houses on whose roofs incense has been burned to the stars, and where wine has been poured out as an offering to other gods. They will all be as unclean as Topheth. Then I left Topheth, where the Lord had sent me to proclaim his message. I went and stood in the court of the temple and told all the people that the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, had said, I am going to bring on this city and on every nearby town all the punishment that I said I would, because you are stubborn and will not listen to what I say. When the priest Pashur, son of Emir, who was the chief officer of the temple, heard me proclaim these things, he had me beaten and placed in chains near the upper Benjamin gate in the temple. The next morning, after Pashur had released me from the chains, I said to him, "The Lord did not name you Pashur. The name he has given you is terror everywhere. The Lord himself has said, I am going to make you a terror to yourself and to your friends, and you will see them all killed by the swords of their enemies. I am going to put all the people of Judah under the power of the king of Babylonia. He will take some away as prisoners to his country and put others to death. I will also let their enemies plunder all the wealth of this city and seize all its possessions and property, even the treasures of the kings of Judah, and carry everything off to Babylonia. As for you, Pashur, you and all your family will also be captured and taken off to Babylonia. There you will die and be buried, along with all your friends to whom you have told so many lies. Lord, you have deceived me, and I was deceived. You are stronger than I am, and you have overpowered me. Everyone makes fun of me. They laugh at me all day long. Whenever I speak, I have to cry out and shout, violence, destruction. Lord, I am ridiculed and scorned all the time because I proclaim your message. But when I say, I will forget the Lord and no longer speak in his name, then your message is like a fire burning deep within me. I try my best to hold it in, but can no longer keep it back. I hear everybody whispering, terror is everywhere, so let's report him to the authorities. Even my close friends wait for my downfall. Perhaps he can be tricked, they say. Then we can catch him and get revenge. But you, Lord, are on my side, strong and mighty, and those who persecute me will fail. They will be disgraced forever, because they cannot succeed. Their disgrace will never be forgotten. But Almighty Lord, you test people justly. You know what is in their hearts and minds. So let me see you take revenge on my enemies, for I have placed my cause in your hands. Sing to the Lord, praise the Lord. He rescues the oppressed from the from the power of evil people. Curse the day I was born. Forget the day my mother gave me birth. Curse the one who made my father glad by bringing him the news. It's a boy, you have a son. May he be like those cities that the Lord destroyed without mercy. May he hear cries of pain in the morning and the battle alarm at noon for not killing me before I was born. Then my mother's womb would have been my grave. Why was I born? Was it only to have trouble and sorrow, to end my life in disgrace? King Zedekiah of Judah sent to me Pashur, son of Malchiah, and the priest Zephaniah, son of Maaseiah, with this request: please speak to the Lord for us, because King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia and his army are besieging the city. Maybe the Lord will perform one of his miracles for us and force Nebuchadnezzar to retreat. Then the Lord spoke to me, and I told those who had been sent to me to tell Zedekiah that the Lord, the God of Israel, had said, Zedekiah, I am going to defeat your army that is fighting against the king of Babylonia and his army. I will pile up your soldiers' weapons in the center of the city. I will fight against you with all my might, my anger, my wrath, and my fury. I will kill everyone living in this city. People and animals alike will die of a terrible disease. But as for you, your officials, and the people who survived the war, the famine, and the disease, I will let all of you be captured by Nebuchadnezzar. and by your enemies who want to kill you. Nebuchadnezzar will put you to death. He will not spare any of you or show mercy or pity to any of you. I, the Lord, have spoken. Then the Lord told me to say to the people, listen, I, the Lord, am giving you a choice between the way that leads to life and the way that leads to death. Anyone who stays in the city will be killed in war or by starvation or disease. But those who go out and surrender to the Babylonians who are now attacking the city will not be killed. They will at least escape with their life. I have made up my mind not to spare this city, but to destroy it. It will be given over to the king of Babylonia, and he will burn it to the ground. I, the Lord, have spoken. The Lord told me to give this message to the royal house of Judah, the descendants of David. Listen to what I, the Lord, am saying. See that justice is done every day. Protect the person who is being cheated from the one who is cheating him. If you don't, the evil you are doing will make my anger burn like a fire that cannot be put out. You, Jerusalem, are sitting high above the valleys, like a rock rising above the plain. But I will fight against you. You say that no one can attack you or break through your defenses, but I will punish you for what you have done. I will set your palace on fire, and the fire will burn down everything around it. I, the Lord, have spoken. The Lord told me to go to the palace of the king of Judah, the descendants of David, and there tell the king, his officials, and the people of Jerusalem to listen to what the Lord had said. I, the Lord, command you to do what is just and right. Protect the person who is being cheated from the one who is cheating him. Do not mistreat or oppress aliens, orphans, or widows, and do not kill innocent people in this holy place. If you really do as I have commanded, then David's descendants will continue to be kings, and they, together with their officials and their people, will continue to pass through the gates of this palace in chariots and on horses. But if you do not obey my commands, then I swear to you that this palace will fall into ruins. I, the Lord, have spoken. To me, Judah's royal palace is as beautiful as the land of Gilead and as the Lebanon mountains. But I will make it a desolate place where no one lives. I am sending men to destroy it. They will all bring their axes, cut down its beautiful cedar pillars, and throw them into the fire. Afterward, many foreigners will pass by and ask one another why I, the Lord, have done such a thing to this great city. Then they will answer, that is because you have abandoned your covenant with me, your God, and have worshipped and served other gods. People of Judah, do not weep for King Josiah. Do not mourn his death, but weep bitterly for Joahaz, his son. They are taking him away, never to return, never again to see the land where he was born. The Lord says concerning Josiah's son, Joahaz, who succeeded his father as king of Judah, he has gone away from here, never to return. He will die in the country where they have taken him, and he will never again see this land. Doomed is the one who builds his house by injustice and enlarges it by dishonesty, who makes his people work for nothing and does not pay their wages. Doomed is the one who says, I will build myself a mansion with spacious rooms upstairs. So he puts windows in his house, panels it with cedar, and paints it red. Does it make you a better king if you build houses of cedar, finer than those of others? Your father enjoyed a full life. He was always just and fair, and he prospered in everything he did. He gave the poor a fair trial, and all went well with him. This is what it means to know the Lord. But you can only see your selfish interests. You kill the innocent and violently oppress your people. The Lord has spoken. So then the Lord says about Josiah's son Jehoiakim, king of Judah, no one will mourn his death or say, how terrible, my friend, how terrible. No one will weep for him or cry, my Lord, my king, with the funeral honors of a donkey. He will be dragged away and thrown outside Jerusalem's gates. People of Jerusalem, go to Lebanon and shout. Go to the land of Bashan and cry. Call out from the mountains of Moab, because all your allies have been defeated. The Lord spoke to you when you were prosperous, but you refused to listen. This is what you've done all your life. You never would obey the Lord. Your leaders will be blown away by the wind, your allies taken as prisoners of war, your city disgraced and put to shame because of all the evil you have done. You rest secure among the cedars brought from Lebanon, but how pitiful you'll be when pains strike you, pains like those of a woman in labor. The Lord said to King Jehoiakim, son of King Jehoiakim of Judah. Oh, the Lord said to King Jehoiakim, son of King Jehoiakim of Judah, as surely as I am the living God, even if you were the signet ring on my right hand, I would pull you off and give you to people you are afraid of. People who want to kill you. I will give you to King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia and his soldiers. I am going to force you and your mother into exile. You will go to a country where neither of you was born, and both of you will die there. You will long to see this country again, but you will never return. I said, okay. I said, has King Jehoiakim become like a broken jar that is thrown away and that no one wants? Is that why he and his children have been taken into exile to a land they know nothing about? O land, 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 listen to what the Lord has said. This man is condemned to lose his children, to be a man who will never succeed. He will have no descendant to rule in Judah as David's successors. I, the Lord, have spoken. I have so many questions. I have so many questions. See, and perplexity doesn't even have a name. It's just perplexity. It's just perplexity. And I don't think that's like a good, I don't think it's good to be perplexed. Then again, if it's scientific, perplexity definition. Good morning, mother.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
Good. Inability to deal with or understand something complicated or unaccountable in an entangled state. Inability to deal with or understand something complicated or unaccountable. An entangled state. Alright, let me ask this. Nah, I need a new conversation because it's about like other stuff.
feels like so funny to ask. Did God turn King Nebuchadnezzar into a frog?
You're referring to a story from the Bible, specifically the book of Daniel. In that story, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon is humbled by God and is driven away from society to live like an animal, eating grass until he acknowledges God's power. The transformation into a frog isn't part of that story, but the episode about Nebuchadnezzar highlights themes of humility and recognition of divine authority.
You ready to go sing?
The story of King Nebuchadnezzar's transformation.
Yeah, I mean, later.
Okay. We'll help me to shower. Okay. This is the trash. You need to take that trash
Yeah.
in your bathroom and put it here and put it upstairs.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Uh-huh.
So I can leave this here?
I mean, where is that from?
Huh?
Where is that from?
From upstairs.
Can you put it by the front door?
Huh?
Can you put it by the front door?
Did you get the trash from here already?
No.
I know when you're leaving the trash there.
Okay.
Hey, how that bathroom doesn't be like this? Is it working?
This is what I'm saying. When you feel it, but I just won't say anything. So then I'm like, yeah, you have to. It's like survival instinct. It's like a survival instinct. It's not like it's not wrong. It's just threatening to those close to you, which is why. But that's what it is, like always. That's what I'm saying. It was twice. It was twice just now. The first time was more like nervousness. The first time was like nervousness and anxiety. And then it was twice of like, exactly. I would say furious. It was twice. But I'm like, like, to me, there's nothing I can, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about this a lot later. Well, I'm going to talk about it with myself. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it, like, here. Where did I just go? Where did that conversation just go? It's over. I'm just going to ask it again. I just asked you this, but I can't seem to find the conversation. Did God turn King Nebuchadnezzar into a frog?
No, the story of King Nebuchadnezzar from the Bible doesn't involve turning into a frog. In the book of Daniel, King Nebuchadnezzar experiences a period of madness, living like an animal in the wild, until he acknowledges God's sovereignty. This period is often interpreted as a lesson in humility and recognition of divine power.
Do you recognize God's sovereignty?
That's a personal and spiritual question. Beliefs about spirituality and the divine vary widely from person to person. If you're exploring these ideas, it might be helpful to reflect on your own beliefs or seek guidance from a trusted spiritual advisor or religious community.
I'm under the I'm under the tutelage of Martin Luther, who was integral in
It sounds like you're
let me finish, hold on. In the idea in establishing the idea that people are able to develop their own personal relationship with God and don't necessarily need, like a priest or a like or a
Many people
or a
believe that
medium.
yes, many traditions and beliefs emphasize that individuals can have a direct and personal connection with the divine without intermediaries. This idea can be a source of comfort and empowerment, allowing individuals to explore their spirituality and relationship with God in a way that feels most authentic to them.
Yeah, so I just learned about the Enlightenment when everyone, like, not everyone, but a lot of people started thinking that religion and divinity was like all nonsense, and we just weren't thinking logically, and then everybody started to think logically and rationally.
Yes,
And then the industrialization happened like pretty soon after that, so it kind of like, you know,
you're touching on some significant historical shifts. The Enlightenment, which emphasized reason, science, and logic, did indeed influence how people viewed religion and spirituality. This era also coincided with the Industrial Revolution, which transformed economies, societies, and ways of thinking. These developments contributed to more secular perspectives and encouraged critical thinking about the world and human experiences.
so how do we know if God is real, and how do we know what happens after we die?
Those are profound and deeply personal questions. Different people and cultures have various ways of exploring and understanding these mysteries. Some find answers through faith, spiritual practices, and teachings of their religious or philosophical traditions. Others turn to science, philosophy, and personal reflection. Ultimately, these questions often come down to individual beliefs and experiences. Exploring what resonates with you personally can be a meaningful part of your journey.
How is it personal though? Like, cause like, okay, one thing is like you stop breathing. That happens to every single person. So like, you know what I'm saying?
It's true that the experience of life and the questions about what happens afterward can feel very tangible and profound. Many find comfort and meaning in exploring these questions through personal reflection, connection with others, and exploring different perspectives. It's a journey that can involve questions about purpose, connection, and the nature of existence. Each person's journey is unique, and finding what brings you peace and understanding can be a meaningful part of that journey.
That's a lot to think about.
It definitely is, and it's okay to take your time with these thoughts. Exploring big questions about life and existence can be a gradual process, and it's okay to seek support from friends, family, or trusted mentors along the way. Take things at your own pace and find what brings you meaning and peace.
Yeah. It's like you don't use it, you lose it. And I'm like, cause right now I'm like, yeah, I'm like angry that I can't like that I'm like angry that I'm not angry. Cause I am angry. Cause I am angry. I'm just like not like I'm not showing that I'm angry. Right. So I'm not angry that I'm not angry. I'm angry that I'm not showing my anger. Yeah. This is a very this is a very this is a very difficult conversation that I'm having with myself. Cause yeah, then that feeling turns into like to like sadness and like desperation, and then it reminds me of that one quote that Joe Rogan. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got it from somewhere that he's like, yeah. Anyway, I'm doing a handstand. He's also getting into he's also getting into Christianity, and then people are like, oh, he did something. He did something. Okay. This is finally what I'm this is finally how I'll say I think like cuz again, I was always under this I was always under this ideology that we're after inner peace because after you acquire everything that you could possibly want, then what else is there to do? And you'll still be wrestling with your mind. Yeah, that's what I'm like saying back to myself. Is that it's the realization. Okay, right. I just have to open up all these because this is what I was gonna do anyway. So, the 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Um, and so we're talking a lot about death, and we're talking a lot about my own mortality, and then the mortality of everyone else as well. But like honestly, that doesn't. It means a lot. It means a lot, but it doesn't mean as much as my own mortality. So, yeah, it's the realization and the acceptance of death. And then it's like, but that's why I keep telling myself because like when I'll be like, okay, like acceptance or like, yeah, like kind of just like that's why I'm getting into this very like somber state of like peace and stuff. But then I'm like, I'm not dead yet though, so I'm still like, I'm still like, I'm trying really hard to make it positive because I'm expressing the idea to other people. But when I think about it, it's like, this is what I was gonna say the other day that I'm still not really. I still don't really feel like. I still don't really feel like talking about it, but it's very Machiavellian, and it's very rather you than me, and yeah, that's all it says to me. And again, this is what, because I was really gonna be like, no, you have to just like read it and don't talk about it basically. But it's like but yeah, that's like all it says to me is like. Like these people are stronger than us and are overpowering us. And I hope someday that we can survive, or like I hope something happens to them. And then yeah, okay. And then and then I feel afraid for like doubting, you know, God and the universe and everything. Um but I think it's just the people that I know and the people that I've dealt with that have uh that have frightened me. Right, so I just have to remember myself. Uh, 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 uh. Yeah. Okay. Right. Because I'm getting upset with perplexity because I'm like you keep saying it's personal, but it's really like um but it's really universal. It's really universal. Like what happens? Yeah. Okay. So it's like death is universal, but life is personal because you can live a million different ways, and everybody's. I mean, you could die a million different ways too, but this is why it's so difficult because once you start, once you start, you just want to keep going and 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 going. Okay. I just so very to summarize. To summarize, um, the verse. I'm like now I want to see if I actually memorized it. The serpent said to the woman, no. You will not certainly die. The serpent said to the woman, but God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. Let me see how far I was. That to me summarizes the whole book. You will not certainly die, the serpent said to the woman, for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So that's Genesis chapter 3, verses 4 and 5. And yeah, because you want it to be political or societal. Again, I'm gonna really try to like get this down more succinctly and more chronologically. But basically, it's like yeah, whatever. Perplexity is correct. It's not a discussion or a conversation. It's a personal decision, and that decision is between life and death, and it's not something that yeah, I want to expand. I want to expand more. All I can think to say right now, though, is it's not a conversation or a discussion. It's a personal decision. I'm trying to think about like how to discuss it. That's why it's like, yeah, that's why it's confusing me. That's why it's confusing me because it's like error code and all that stuff. Because it's not really possible. That's why I'm saying. Because again, that's why I'm saying. It's more. It's not just saying, oh, these people are like overpowering us, or like it's like, oh, what do we do? Like, God help us. It's like people lie, people cheat, people steal. Why are people doing this? Why are people so like evil? But it's like they're not being evil to themselves because I mean, they could be, they might be. Yeah, again, this is why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying. This is why it's a discussion because I've had this so many times where it's like, where is this conversation leading to? Like, you need to stop, or where is it coming from? You should reflect. So I think that's even like the deeper except yeah, because again, there's so many times where it's like leave your you it's like the closest people to you that make it the most difficult to really reach this conclusion because you want to involve them and you want to include them and you want to share with them. um Yeah. So I'm working on convincing myself. I'm working on convincing myself that it's a personal decision and it's not anything that like that anyone can. This is reminding me of
sex addiction and learning isn't just modern-day quackery, with Carnes as the Kevorkian of the male libido. This is to say that this broad definition
looks good and follows proper technique, follow along with this tutorial. But first, I'm super passionate about this, so I wanted to remind you that Jesus Christ, the creator of this universe, wants a personal relationship with you. So reach out, start praying, and you'll see how much he can do in your life. Thanks for being willing to listen. Now, let's get into it. A proper cartwheel never starts with your chest forward in this starfish shape, but instead what is called a lunge. If you don't know which foot goes, looks good, honesty, trust, and loyalty.
The therapist turns to me. I know what he's going to ask. The only question I don't want to answer.
Do you think you're able to give her those things? To even consider being in this relationship again?
I just need 3 things.
What are those?
Honesty, trust, and loyalty.
The therapist turns to me. I know what he's going to ask. The only question I don't want to answer.
Do you think you're able to give her those things? To even consider being in this relationship again?
I just need 3 things.
What are those?
Honesty, trust, and loyalty.
Are you sure that?
Yes.
You know what that is, man?
Okay, 1 second. Um,